Hello folks, and welcome back to the channel, and Happy New Year. This is my first video of 2025, and it's another Apple CarPlay Android Auto video, however with a slight twist in that it's a car related video. Now this channel is all about motorcycles, it always will be, and I'm not going to be making a habit of doing car related videos. However, several companies over the last few months, seeing my Jiggy, the Carpy Ride videos, etc. for the bike, have reached out asking me to sort of test various generic Apple CarPlay units for cars, and I've turned them down because, like I say, this is all about motorcycle content and I want to keep the channel that way. But I said yes to this one for two reasons. Number one, I've recently switched cars and I no longer have Apple CarPlay, so there is a little bit of self-interest there. But also, a lot of the units that I've been asked about have been very generic, sort of AliExpress style units that don't really have any standout features that I would really be able to sort of talk about until CarpodGo messaged me about this. This is the CarpodGo T3 Pro. Now, what attracted me to this unit is the fact that it has a fully laminated screen with a 60 FPS refresh rate on it. So very similar to the motorcycle Jiggy unit that I have. So should be incredibly smooth. An incredibly bright screen, a light sensor for day and night mode, which a lot of the cheaper units don't have, as well as the one thing that really stopped me from saying yes to the other units, aside from the fact that I want to keep this strictly to motorcycle content, is they all had sort of screw-in type mounts that aren't particularly easy and quick to remove from the car, whereas this unit uses a magnetic base, so it makes it incredibly easy to remove if you actually need to. And it comes, well, in the version that they sent me, it comes with a reversing camera. Now I haven't wired that in because the wiring on my car is a little bit fiddly to get to access those parts, but it is there as an option. So yeah, if that's of any interest, if you have Apple CarPlay on your motorcycle now, but you don't have it in your car, you might find this useful. So if so, stay tuned and we'll talk about it a bit more. But also I just want to say, obviously motorcycles is one of my main interests, but also tech is as well. And I did consider, not for any other reason than to sort of segregate it, I did consider starting a second channel purely for generic tech. So be it car or home. I infuriate my other half with the amount of tech that I buy, even just little cheap things. And I thought, well, there's probably a lot of stuff on there that I could review, including this sort of stuff. So stick a comment down in this video if that might be something you'd be interested in. I've got all kinds of gadgets and tech that I could review. I don't know if I will, but I just thought I'd throw it out there. And like I say, I'm not going to make a habit of doing car related content on here, purely motorcycles, but in this case I've made an exception. So to the unboxing. Let's have a look and see what we get in here, shall we? Tell you what, let's rip all this out. I have already had this out, I will confess. Okay, so we have the suction mount, which I probably won't be using, but it looks like it has decent adjustability on it. So you can angle it. And also this, you can slide it out if you have a particularly tall dash. So let's stick that over there. This, to my surprise, I didn't think this was actually part of it, but this is a reversing camera. I don't think I'll be using that for reasons I will explain in a moment. This is a little adapter due to that, you know, obviously mentions if you have issues with the picture for the reversing camera to use this unit. And this is the massive wire that you get with it, which by the looks of it, you have to tap into the reversing light feed, which I don't know how easy that would be on my car, but if I can do it, I will, but I might not. And then this is the little Bluetooth to Bluetooth to auxiliary adapter that they kindly included with the unit as well. And then we have the actual unit itself in here, which I have to say it is very weighty, in a good way. It feels very well, very well made. So we have some ports on it, if I can get it the right way around. So we have USB power in. Let me have a look at what that says. Audio, so audio jack in. AV in, that will be for the reversing camera. Microphone is there, and also USB-C input. But more importantly, we have a very strong magnet, which, as you can see, is very strong. So let's put that to one side for a moment. And then what else do we have in the box? We have a USB to USB-C adapter, so female USB-A to USB-C. We have the power adapter that obviously allows you to power the unit, as well as have a USB-A socket that, according to this, supports 2.4 amps, so that's pretty quick. We have some some 3M pads. We have this if you want to stick this to your dashboard, and then obviously use the suction mount. And we have the little ball mount, which is probably the one I will use, which obviously will go into the back here, and then it will go onto this bracket here, which is flexible. So if you have a curved dash, you should be able to stick that on there. So I might well use that one. But let's do the all-important peel. Which is interesting because there are bubbles, which implies it has a screen protector already on it. Okay, so let's get around to actually powering the unit up for the first time. I have already played around with it a little bit. As you can see, I've changed the logo on the opening screen for an Audi screen, and we're already booted up incredibly quick. Now, one thing you can do is you'll notice here in the top corner it's in night mode, because it does have a light sensor built in, I believe, but you can also swipe down from the top, and that switches it from day and night mode really quickly. Now, this is a fully laminated screen, and it also appears to have a factory screen protector. So let's just have a quick look around the UI. So apologies for the reflection in my lights. Obviously we have the option for Apple CarPlay. Android Auto. We have the option for Bluetooth, which obviously takes us in there where we can pair our phone to it. We can set the brightness for day and night mode manually, and also shift the color temperature. Well, I'm assuming that's either the color temperature or a scheduled night and day mode, which is handy to have. We also have the main settings, which I'll come back to in a moment. We have the option for how we're going to get audio out of this. Now, when you select each of these options, it does do a reboot, but we can have it in this mode where you have, obviously Bluetooth audio built into your car, but not Apple CarPlay. So you can use the Apple CarPlay or Android Auto on this screen, but still have your phone paired to your car for the audio output, which is probably the method I would imagine most people would actually go with. There is an option to do an FM transmitter, which I feel is probably not the most likely use case. You can use auxiliary output. Now there is, I won't move it at the moment just because of the wire, but there is an auxiliary out port on there, and there is also a Bluetooth audio adapter that they kindly included for me, which I think you can spec when you order it. There are others available, but that'll obviously transfer the Bluetooth audio into the auxiliary port, or there is a speaker built in if you wish to use that. So breezing through the OS quickly, we have the option for the system update, which I've already done using the supplied OTG cable from USB-A to USB-C, and I just used a 64 gig memory card for that. Obviously the audio output options, we have volume control, which I would imagine if you're Bluetoothing wouldn't come into play. We have the options for the display brightness. We can change the wallpaper, the logo on boot up. Now I have an Audi, so I've chosen that option, and this I quite like. We can also change, I'll show you when we actually get into Apple CarPlay, but in Apple CarPlay you get like a bar down the side which tells the time, whether your phone's charging, and also there is a sort of menu option. Now this means that you can move it to the right hand side if you have a right hand drive car, and we can also engage 60 FPS because this unit supports 60 FPS and it is very, very smooth. So let's get to pairing my phone. Okay, into Bluetooth on my phone. We can see the unit pairing request, as you can probably see here. And then it's going to ask us if we want to use Apple CarPlay. And then hopefully, there we go. And as you can see, that option is now on the right hand side. But if you have a left hand drive car, display, CarPlay settings, if you switch that option, and there we go. And now we have the option on the left hand side, and as you can see, this screen is huge and it is very, very smooth. So I feel like we should probably get it in the car and get it all set up in there. Okay, so we're going to do the in-car video bit of this. Unfortunately, the screen is misting up a little bit because of how sort of cold it is, and it's been in the glove box, but that will sort itself out in a moment. It's not on the inside of the screen, it's on the outside. So what I have done, and I don't know how easy you'll be able to see it, because getting the right angled USB in the back of here every time I want to take it out is a little bit awkward. I've bought this little USB-C to USB-C male to female adapter, So it just makes life a little bit easier. And I've also used the in-car, the adhesive mount there. So what I'm going to do is, as you can see, that just magnetizes there, and then I can do this either before or after I put it on, obviously. And then I just stick that in there. We boot up, and hopefully it's going to connect straight to my phone. CarPlay connecting. Yep, it's in night mode, so let's put it back into day mode. And I am going to plot a route. I'm going to use in fact, what I should mention is I've got the Bluetooth adapter in the center console into the auxiliary input on the car. So if I go into music, I'm not going to play anything that's going to get me struck down for copyright. Let's have a look. I've got something on here that won't get flagged. So if I start to play that, as you can see, that's coming out of there. Fine, let's mute that. So you can see the screen is very fluid. We can have this view here. Let's go into Google Maps, and we're gonna drive towards let's see, Astley Colliery. Search on Google. There we go. And off we go. And I'm now going to do a bit of a time lapse, because you don't need to be seeing me doing this the whole way, but just to give you an illustration of how well it works and how sort of bright it is. So let's get going. So through the power of editing, we're now back. We've unboxed it, we've installed it, we've used it, and hopefully you've seen how smoothly the unit, works. So my final thoughts. Well, obviously, as you would expect, I do have a discount code that I'll stick down in the description. I think it gives you $50 off. Speaking of price, one thing that one of my traveling companions mentioned was, why would I buy this when I can get one off of AliExpress or TikTok shop for less than half the price. So let's address that, because some might say this is a bit more on the expensive end. I have used a couple of the cheaper units. They've been fine. They've not been particularly responsive or bright or sharp, but they've got the job done. Both units, failed me, and I think they, cost me about £40–50. So by comparison, yes, this one is a bit more expensive. However, I have had over a month to actually test it and use it. And as you will have seen from the video of me actually, using it in the car, I've gone for the, flexible adhesive mount. And that is because it's staying in my car. It has been absolutely, flawless. No disconnections, no dropouts, no lag. It's fast and smooth. It boots up incredibly quickly, and I have had no issues with it, at all. Overall, I am incredibly happy with it, and it will be staying in my car. The screen is super bright, super sharp, super clear, and yeah, it has been an absolute dream to use. So like I say, if you do want to pick one of these up, there is a code down in the description, and yeah, once again, thanks for watching. Please do consider hitting that subscribe and like button, and also put any comments that you might have. The channel has grown, massively in quite a short space of time, so can't thank you enough. And I will catch you in the next video, which will be a bike related one. So yeah, speak soon.